Hey guys, this is E10 Sun from Sunbros. Today I'm really excited to be bringing you guys this brand new video. But before we get started with that, I want to make sure I remind you guys on how to get entered in for a chance to win our guaranteed skin giveaways that we do every Sunday night during our 1-hour question and answer live stream. All you gotta do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and comment below with your in-game name and which skin you'd like to receive on either the NA or EU servers under 700 vouchers. And remember, the more videos that you do this with that are uploaded each week, the higher chance you have to win. Alright guys, let's go ahead and dive into this Superman hero quick look video. We're really excited about this one. It's our newest DC hero on NA and LA. Superman is a class warrior tank. His role is mobility and initiator. As you guys can see in the bottom left, he's actually average or above average on everything, Constitution being the highest. Superman's passive is flight. Superman has two modes, flying and walking. He gains movement speed and charges energy. For every 100 units, he walks and takes flight once the energy is fully charged. Flight mode grants movement speed when moving towards an enemy, and his normal attacks deal additional damage equal to a % of his maximum HP. Superman exits flight mode when he is hit with a control effect that lowers his movement speed to 375 or less. Superman's first ability is Kryptonian Strength. Superman uses his ice breath to generate a blizzard that deals a bunch of physical damage to enemies and slows their movement speed. If he's in flight mode, Superman rams into enemies, dealing a bunch of damage based on attack damage as well as his maximum HP, and then he fires heat vision, dealing additional physical damage. Superman's second ability is Man of Steel. Superman unleashes his full power, which immediately frees him from control effects and significantly increases movement speed. While in flight mode, Superman will slam into the ground, knock enemies back, dealing a bunch of physical damage as well as ridding himself of control effects and increasing his movement speed. Superman's ultimate, Speeding Bullet. Superman taps into his full potential, which increases his charge up speed by 100% for 10 seconds. If in flight mode, Superman will ram into his enemies and knock them back, dealing a bunch of damage and have his charge up speed increased also. Alright guys, next we're going to be talking about his pros and cons, starting with his pros, which are his strengths, things you're going to focus on if you're playing as him, and things you're going to want to avoid if you're playing against him. Superman's first pro is his incredible map presence. Obviously, as you guys can see from his passive flight, Superman gets really crazy movement speed and is able to fly around the map with really little problem. I think he probably has some of the best map presence of any hero in the game. That incredible map presence isn't for nothing, as Superman has the abilities necessary to properly gank and do some really crazy burst damage. Speaking of burst damage, that is our second pro for Superman. His burst damage is absolutely incredible. As Superman enters a fight from flight mode and uses one of those in-flight abilities, whether it's his first ability Kryptonian Strength or his second ability Man of Steel or even his ultimate Speeding Bullet, Superman is able to inflict an incredible amount of damage just for initiating a fight out of flight mode. This gives Superman the opportunity to clear his top lane and do a lot of roaming and provide some of the better ganks of any top laner in the game. Not only does he achieve this with the speed at which he can go from top lane to any other lane, but also with the incredible damage that he can initiate with using his flight mode abilities. And speaking of Superman's initiating ability, Superman's third pro is that he's one of the top initiators in the game. I feel like we're kind of going around and around with Superman's strengths, but they all intertwine into making Superman very heavy on the map presence scale with his incredible movement speed. You throw along with that his amazing burst damage and initiation abilities, and what you have is a guy who is the best roamer in all of Arena of Valor and who can initiate from those roams with some really solid crowd control effects and damage. The combination essentially gives you a guy who comes out of nowhere and is a massive disruption to your team, and somebody you always need to be aware of where he's at. Alright guys, now we're moving on to Superman's cons, which are his weaknesses, things you're going to want to avoid if you're playing as him, and things you're going to want to take advantage of or exploit if you're playing against him. Superman's first con is that he is susceptible to crowd control. I know what you're thinking. If his second ability breaks him from crowd control, how can he be susceptible to crowd control? Well, it's not that he's super susceptible to crowd control in the sense that he doesn't have an ability that can break it. It's that that's the main way that Superman is going to get killed. Because his movement speed is so good and his ability to get out of dodge so good, the only chance you really have of catching him and killing him is crowd controlling him, whether that's him blowing his second ability prematurely and not, breaking crowd control off properly, or you having more than one form of crowd crowd control that you can use against him in order to stop him long enough to be able to burst him down and kill him. And Superman's second con is that he's not a reliable off-tank. And I know what you're thinking. If he does great initiation, he's a big-time disruptor, and he can do good damage and all that, then why isn't he good reliable off-tank? Because Superman's game is predicated upon going into a fight, coming out of a fight, to go back into a fight. Your normal off-tank has the ability to provide peel, and has the ability to provide crowd control on the back line. Superman can only do that in small bursts, because once his abilities are used up in the cooldown start, he's not very helpful. Where Superman is best played is as somebody who can go in and out of a fight, so he can recharge his flight mode and come back in with a bang. Alright, and Superman's third con is that he's very difficult to master. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Maybe roaming, running around with incredible movement speed and just initiating isn't that hard. First of all of his initiations actually do require some skill, because they're very interesting skill shots, because they have to be aimed straight ahead of him rather than aimed wherever you feel like. You have to angle Superman's body correctly to use them. The second reason why Superman is so difficult to play is that all of his abilities kind of give you a different need and use. And it's not as simple as having a lot of options. What it really is about knowing exactly which situation to use which ability, and if you do it in the wrong time, it could cost you your life. Alright guys, and the fourth and final con for Superman is, of course,
don't touch that.
Kryptonite! Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our Superman Hero Quick Look video. And of course, tomorrow, be prepared for the how to build Superman video. But thanks for watching guys, and as always, till next time.